We talked about The Outlaws with Adam Devine on Friday, and it's now time to do it again with Lil Rel Howery here in studio. Good to see you, sir.
What's going on?
On Netflix, out on July 7th, and you could stream it right here on Roku as well. It's Laugh Out Loud Funny. Congrats on the movie, man.
Thanks, man.
Congrats.
Such a funny movie.
It is a funny movie, and Adam was here. It's funny. It's I mean, what a cast too.
So yesterday we had our premiere last night. And you know what's funny? It's hard not to like stare at peers. You know what I mean? It's kind of uncomfortable. Like you want to speak to him, you're like, nah, I don't want to bother him. And like you look at all the pictures, he's just standing there randomly, like looking cool.
And all he has to do is just stand randomly, and he is cool.
He just cool. I don't even remember when he left yesterday. We all were still partying. I think he just like cool people sneak out of parties.
He ghosted.
No, I see him eat a burger. Like I wanted to speak to him when we both was eating the burgers, the little sliders at the same time.
Wait, Pierce Brosnan eats sliders? Wow.
Yes.
The hell? He looks like that. What are you writing down? Pierce Brosnan's slider for a fantasy team name?
Yep, fantasy name.
I don't even know what the avatar for that would be. Oh my gosh!
James Bond.
I've got Lil Rel Howery here on the Rich Eisen Show. We're back on the Rich Eisen Show radio network, sitting at the Rich Eisen Show desk, furnished by Grainger with supplies and solutions for every industry. Grainger has the right product for you. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Ellen Barkin, Pierce Brosnan, Nina Dobrev, Adam Devine, and you, Lil Rel. Was everyone at the premiere last night?
Well, who was missing was Richard Kine.
Richard Kine was missing. Okay.
Julia, who played his wife.
Yeah.
And Ellen wasn't there.
Ellen Barkin was not there. Okay, so that was a
So cool.
that was a good
Adam Sandler was there.
It's Adam Sandler's it's his production company, right? That's doing this.
Dresses up. Like his wife was in the movie, she's dressed up. His daughter was in the movie, they were dressed up.
Yes.
He had on a Hawaiian shirt and like dad shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's certain shoes that just dads wear.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler wears dad shoes. Like legitimately dad shoes and dad jeans.
Well, he's notorious for just stepping out of his house, and that's how he dresses in public.
Everybody was saying like how he looked like he just got out of bed, but I respect that.
Okay. Yeah. By the way, I respect it too. So, how late did the night go?
It went late. We had fun. It was like a lot of the premieres just started back again. This was my first premiere for one of my own projects in a long time. So with Adam and Nina, all of us are friends. So it was shot o'clock last night.
Okay. So, are you playing hurt today? Are you playing a little hurt today?
You know what's funny? Like when we've been on strike, so I really ain't been doing anything. So
yeah, right.
I'm chilling. I think whatever happened last night, I woke up on time, got the kids up, got the boys dressed.
Fantastic.
And we here.
And you were here, which I'm thrilled. By the way, I'm absolutely thrilled to have you back here on the show. So you are from Chicago.
All day, yep.
Okay. And so you are Bulls,
Cubs,
Bears.
Yep.
Cubs, Bears. What do you think of Justin Fields being the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, Lil Rel Howery?
I was dreaming the day we draft or have an athletic quarterback.
Yeah.
Like I've been looking for. Like we've had defenses for years, right?
Cutler wasn't as athletic enough for you?
No. Justin Fields is one of my favorite players right now. And so
I don't blame you.
I like what we've done in the offseason, so I'm excited about this season.
Okay. Yeah. I think Justin Fields is the man to the point where, we were talking the other day of whether Atlanta is going to rue the day that they didn't draft him 2 years ago.
100%. But who cares?
Well, I'm just bringing that up just to say how much we appreciate Justin Fields and bring that up too, because they could have drafted like Bryce Young and traded him. That was part of the conversation for a hot minute back in January.
I was actually like that day was a part of some type of NFL draft thing. Some like with like Deion Sanders and I forgot who was all on this little weird Zoom thing we was on. And I yelled when we drafted Justin. I was so happy.
I think that was 2 years ago. I don't know if I was on that yet.
Hey, were you hosting that?
That was the pandemic year. I think Justin Fields was drafted the year after, and they did that Zoom one more time, and you were on that with Prime.
Yep.
Have you met Prime? You ever met Deion?
Not in person, but I want to meet him. Like we like message each other because he's like a big fan of comedy.
Yeah, he is.
Like I think I'm gonna take a trip to Colorado.
Yep.
And just do all the cool stuff, everybody. Because I keep seeing people doing all these cool stuff.
Right.
But I ain't never been really invited, so I want to go.
Well, Deion's one of the funniest people I've ever met. By the way, like if he ever wanted to do comedy, he could do it. And
he should do a one-man show, actually.
He's doing it just as the coach of Colorado Buffalo football right now. It seems like,
But no, for real though, like if he got a theater, sat there and just told those stories. Because one of the 30 for 30s he did kind of felt like a one-man show.
Right.
When nobody else was interviewed.
Correct.
It was just him talking about playing both of those games the same day.
Right. Where he's told so many stories that are laugh out loud funny, but just him also being himself. I've got Lil Rel Howery here on the Rich Eisen Show, and then you also forget that he was an outstanding baseball player too in his time, where years ago we were in Green Bay and we were waiting for our flight to go after Thursday night, and we were, I guess I'll tell this tale out of school. We were so early on the NFL Network, didn't know we shouldn't have done this, but we were at a blackjack table waiting to get to our flight because there's, a casino in Green Bay. And we were sitting there playing blackjack, and I was at the end of the table in the third base position, and he was so happy with my play, he nicknamed me Terry Pendleton because that was his favorite third baseman of all time. And I honestly, it took me like 2 minutes to figure out, why is he calling me Terry Pendleton? And then he proceeded to tell me, third base, outstanding position.
That's so right. But this is so funny, right? Because Prime, I feel like, has two different lives. He's the dad Prime now.
Yes.
But then he was like Jerry Curl.
Yeah.
15, Mr. T Chain's on.
Yeah.
Like just
hosting SNL.
Never wore a shirt.
Yeah.
Always. He was like the first jacket, no shirt guy consistently. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Like, he really was. Like, he was the first one to do that. Like, Bo Jackson wasn't even doing that.
Right.
Deion Sanders was the first no jacket, Jerry Curl consistency of that. No matter what the weather was. What city he was in, he would not wear a shirt. He'd have a fur coat on with no shirt on.
I know.
In Green Bay.
In December.
Well, and he would never consider that football weather either. He's from Florida. He always says that football weather is 75, 80 degrees. He and Michael Irvin are lockstep on that. Like, football weather is not 20 degrees.
Football weather is winter weather.
Now, that's a Chicago Bear fan talking right there.
Yeah, because but it's like, why would you want it to be hotter with all that equipment on?
Interesting choice. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Like, only time it's cool is when they wear crop tops at practice. Like, not in the game.
Did you ever go to Soldier Field as a kid? Did you ever do that?
I didn't get to Soldier Field till I became an adult.
Okay.
Which is like, I guess it's a lot of this stuff now, because I'm literally reliving everything again.
I bet.
You know what I mean? And like I was telling you earlier, I threw out the first pitch last weekend at the Cubs game. Like, that was the first time I ever put my foot on the Wrigley Field. So me and my brother was there, like, touching the grass. We looked like little kids.
So who was your Cub growing up? Who was the guy that you
Andre
idolized?
Dawson. There's no question. I have a signed Andre Dawson jersey in my house. It's my favorite thing. My manager bought me one of those things for my birthday a couple years ago, but huge Andre Dawson fan.
Loved him too. He was so great. He was
powerful.
so great.
And he wasn't a big guy, but just had power. He was a power hitter.
Yeah, he was out there in the outfield. Ryan Sandberg in the infield, and
that's one of my favorite Cubs teams. Is that team? It was Rick Sutcliffe was pitching.
Yeah.
You had Mark Grace came along at some point. You had Sean Dunston.
Yeah, Dunston at short.
God, that's such a great team.
Yeah, and Andre Dawson. How was your first pitch?
Oh, it was great.
Come on now.
I play baseball, so.
Okay.
It was weird because I brought a glove. Nobody usually brings a glove to a first pitch, but I didn't realize people didn't do that.
So you brought a glove?
Yes.
To throw out a first pitch?
Yes.
Okay. What, you think you're getting the ball back from the catcher?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, you got to lead with your glove hand.
It was crazy because I was like doing all my ball. Because people was like, were you practicing? I'm like, no. I love baseball.
Yeah.
I'm going to come to Wrigley Field and throw the first pitch, and I don't bring a glove. Come on.
I got it. So, but you threw a strike?
I threw a strike.
Okay, because you've seen some of these first pitches lately.
It's terrible. I'm really good at it. They're going to bring me back.
Okay. Very good.
They'll never show the good pitches, which is weird.
Yeah, isn't that right? They're only the ones that get bounced. Oh, there you are. Oh, you weren't on the top of the mound, though.
Okay, here we go. This is the truth.
Okay.
I thought the lady told me I couldn't stand up there. She was.
They didn't want you to mess with the mound?
I think she was giving me an option, but I thought she told me I couldn't go up there, so I didn't do it.
Okay.
100%. But look at that.
That's nice form. That's nice form. That is nice form.
First of all, I threw heat because the mascot called it. You heard it. boggled the mind. You know what I mean?
And how was the take me out to the ball game? Because you got to. So you could go faster than the actual organ. The organ plays real slow. You got to be careful about that one.
It was perfect. It was weird because it was trying to give me all this guidance. I'm like, do you understand? I've been singing this since I was 6 years old. So yes, let's go. And so I tried to do it in a Harry Caray voice, but it came off like DMX. It didn't make any sense. And so like.
How does that sound? How does that sound?
Like, take me. I sound like I'm drunk. It sounded like I was doing the Simpsons version of it, and I was at Moe's hanging out. But
sounded drunk is the Harry Caray way of doing it.
I killed it. I gave him let me hear you. I did all that. It was crazy. Everybody thought it was dope.
I met Harry Caray once at 11 in the morning because they had I was a student reporter for Northwestern. And I believe Tom Trebelhorn was just about to be announced as the new Cubs manager in 1994. I think that's who it was.
Wow.
And it was a press conference at 11 in the morning at Wrigley Field. I got there at 10 a.m. to be early because, I was a student. And who was already sitting there at the bar with a Bloody Mary but Harry Caray?
Oh, that's a great story.
And this is way before, phones or whatever. I would have taken a picture just to see him. I don't think it was a Virgin Mary at all. I don't think
which picture would you took? Like the one, like the stalking picture where you don't ask to take a picture with somebody? Like where you just like, all right.
Well, at the time, I would have taken the stalking picture.
You know what? What's crazy? Because we think about cell phones, but could you imagine somebody with a full-blown camera?
just walking around.
Just like, look, hey, man, what you doing? I'm taking it's so funny because now you can sneakily do it. People can do that to you, but it's very interesting, like a full-blown.
Yes, the full-blown camera. It would be really odd, too, if you use the full-blown camera as a selfie, too.
Like this. It's so funny. Like, Wrigleyville is so off the chain. That was my first time, too. Actually, I stayed like across the street from Wrigley Field this time.
In one of the apartments that is across the street from Wrigley Field?
I did not stay in an apartment, no. It's a hotel they built.
I didn't know they have a hotel there across from Wrigley Field.
Oh, man. Okay. No. So,
I'm not suggesting you're crashing on someone's couch, Lil Rel. I know that you're big time. I understand that, but I just didn't know there was
studio Airbnb chilling across the street. No, I was at the hotel.
Okay.
And I hung out.
Yes.
Like it is every single day.
Yes.
There's a game. It's like it looks like Mardi Gras.
Yes.
I had so much fun at Wrigleyville. Like I was like, I didn't know. And it's so weird. I lived on the west side of Chicago, but I never experienced that.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. I had so much fun.
It is great there. Lil Rel Howery here on the Rich Eisen Show, Friday, July 7th, streaming on Netflix, The Outlaws, which is available right here on Roku because Netflix is right here. How did you get involved in Get Out? How did that come about for your career, Lil Rel?
I mean, it's pretty simple. I audition.
Okay.
No, but for real, I did. Like, Jordan Peele told me about it at a party first. And I remember kind of like being like, you did what? You wrote a horror film? Okay, sir. Because, you just know for comedy. It's like,
yeah,
I hear you. But the way he started describing it, I'm like, oh, you really into horror. Okay.
Yes.
And then by the time the script came to me and I went to read for it, when I was reading it, it just felt like it was me. Like, it literally sounded like how I talk, my cadences and everything. And I was like, if I don't book this, I'm a terrible actor because this sounds like me.
And so did he tell you this is the role that I think you should play when he told you about the movie?
By the time the movie came out is when I saw him do an interview, and he said when he was writing it, he had me in mind. And that's why it sounded like me. I know I'm not crazy.
Right.
This sound like me. If I don't book this, I'm a terrible actor.
Right.
I can't even book me.
Right.
But yeah, it ended up being one of the greatest. It's such a great story. Like, just to see what everybody has done since Get Out, like all of us.
Yes.
It kind of just implemented all of us in Hollywood. Like, it made me like basically like a movie star is what that. And he told me that actually. He called me while he was editing the movie, and he told me to get ready. He said, just know what your price is. Get your money because you're about to be working.
That's what Jordan Peele told you.
Yep.
And I don't blame you for saying, wait a minute, because, Key and Peele was one of the funniest shows on television.
But if you rewatch it, it's so many dark sketches. Like, it's a sketch they do where it's like a workout. Like, the guy's working out, and there's like a guy with this sign, like, your family just got murdered, but they still got to keep working out. It's so dark.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely some subversive humor on that show, no question about it.
I was like, okay, Jordan Peele, I see it.
But Get Out is way out there. And when you read the script, did you read it like from start to finish, or
Yeah, I read it from start to finish.
And were you like, okay, wow, that's?
I thought two things. Either we was going to be kicked out of Hollywood, right? Because I'm like, okay,
yeah,
you can't kill all these white people when we drive off. Like, that's going to end it. All right, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So it was like, we'll see if people like this movie or not. But when the trailer came out and we went to do reshoots, I remember all of us sitting at a bar and we saw all these millions of hits for all the trailers that was like on YouTube. And we like, yo, is this about to be a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. And so, like, even the moment, the premiere, I'll never forget, it's one of my favorite moments is when I showed up at the premiere, no press was really talking to me. You know, they had to interview me because okay, you're in the movie, nice. And I'm like, all right. When we walked out the theater, it was me, my manager, my date at the time, and my publicist. And I was just like, yo, that was crazy, right? Like, talking to them. And you know how, like, they have, like, usually, like, the cast at the bottom and, like, the people they invited. By the time they came down there, everybody literally bum rushed me. And I was like, what the hell is happening, right? And the security had to walk me to my car. I remember all of us getting to the car. I'm like, yo, this is different. Is my life about to change a little
bit? Jordan was right.
He was
right.
He's so, and I mean, I went to see Nope. I love whatever Jordan does. Jordan pitched me a TV show idea, which I feel bad. Like, at the time, I did my show, and so I turned down the show he pitched me, but it was such a great idea. Sometimes I want to call him like, hey, man, you want to?
Yeah, let's revisit. What is it?
I'm sorry I picked the other show, but.
Do you want to say what it is?
Like, no, I can't. It's his idea. It's a great show idea, though.
Okay, so why don't you revisit when all this craziness with strikes gets over with?
I think so. It was him and J.J. Abrams approached me about something. Ooh. I know, man. I get it. At the time, I was like, I want my own show and with my friends, and that's why I did it. Like, and that was fun.
It's like, LeBron is inviting you to play pickup, and
I got my own game.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to play with Conan O'Brien and Pete Davidson. I'm not playing with LeBron and D-Wade.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that's a great story, man. And that movie still, obviously will forever stand the test of time.
It is. I look at and so I do a lot of reflecting because this year it's going to be such a fun year. Like, Outlaws is the first thing coming out, but I got a movie coming out every month until the year is over with.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So that means you'll show up every month here?
If you want me to, I'll come and promote every last one.
Let's do it. I'm happy to do that.
Deal.
It's go keep Vacation Friends 2.
Okay.
In August, it's so much funnier.
Okay.
It's called Honeymoon Friends. It's nothing like I love a good sequel. Like, I was scared to do a sequel, but I'm like, oh, this is a perfect sequel. So it's a great sequel.
Very good.
Same cast?
Same cast. We added Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, and he's so funny, man.
You got a good Steve Buscemi story for me?
You know what's funny? I don't even know if I have a good story. I just know we all became friends, and that was enough for me. We shot most of the stuff in this resort, so in Hawaii. So after first of all, that's the best way to shoot. Like, you say cut, and no, I'm gonna just sit here. I stayed on the beach after. I've never done it before after working. No, I'm gonna just sit here. I'm gonna take a nap. See you tomorrow. Watching the crew put stuff up. I'm just sitting on the beach chilling.
That's what you do in Hawaii.
Vacation Friends 2, Paw Patrol 2. I'm in that.
Oh, okay.
Very fun. Nice.
All right. How old are your kids?
I'm old now. 14, 13, and 6.
Okay, so they've aged out of Paw Patrol.
No, they gonna. I mean, I'm in it. They gonna have to watch it. I don't care if they're 32. You gonna see Paw Patrol 2. A movie called The Mill.
Okay.
That I'm excited about. It's a sci-fi thriller. 97% just me.
Okay.
In the movie, it's I'm so proud of. I just saw another cut of it yesterday. I'm producing it and also starring in it.
Fantastic.
And it's gonna be on Hulu also, where Vacation Friends 2 is. But I'm proud of this. This is. I'm not saying I should win awards, but if I was to win awards, it better be for The Mill.
Okay.
And then I play Santa Claus for Dashing Through the Snow, which comes out, Christmas time.
Christmas. Okay. Yeah. So here's what we got. You can come on and promote which one's in August?
We got Honeymoon Friends too, which is August 25th. So I'll come back.
You come back. That's when we'll talk about the Cubs making a playoff run and the Bears about to start the season.
And the Cubs is hot. The Cubs is hot. It's so weird too. I'm like, who is on this team now? I went to see them play the Dodgers, and I didn't know anybody. And now,
good.
I'm in. I love a good rebuilding team that play hard.
You know David Ross. You know the manager. You know.
He's cool.
Okay, very
All
good. All right, so you got, and then you come back in October or November.
I'll come in back to maybe September for Paw Patrol 2.
Okay, that's when the Bears will be 4-0. Okay.
Ooh, that'll be great.
Yeah.
And then I'll come back for Halloween time for the meal.
Cubs World Series.
Ooh, that'll make me so happy. And then I'll come back for Dashing Through the Snow.
All right.
Where I play full-blown Santa Claus.
Talk about the Bulls starting 14-0.
I wish you see how excited I was about everybody.
Even that, you're like, nah. We got to blink an eye with the Cubs winning the World Series and, the Bears starting 4-0, but the Bulls.
Baseball has been so much fun this year.
Okay.
The Cincinnati Reds look fun, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this kid, Ellie De La Cruz, play. That kid who just tripled for the cycle the other day, who runs like 10 seconds from home to third. He's unbelievable. That kid was unbelievable.
It's so interesting. I wonder, did like the new rules make baseball funner again? Because it's faster now.
No question. Lil Rel Howery, it's better. It's faster. That shift is the worst thing that ever was. The left-handed hitters lining out to right field, and it's caught by a third baseman. Like, what the hell are we doing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I do love the new rules. I think it's great, and I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Man, it's so much faster. It was weird. Like the game was like 2.5 hours. I was like, that's it.
I know. Drive home safely. Drive home safely. The Outlaw is available for streaming on Netflix on Friday, July 7th. And again, Netflix is available right here on Roku, at Lil Rel 4 on Twitter, at Comedian Lil Rel on Instagram. Thank you for the time, as always. Appreciate it.
I always love hanging out here.
Right
Anytime.
back at you. Yeah, right back at you. And so many projects coming up. I look forward to having you back here. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.